Hi, hello, and in today's video, I am redrawing a comic strip from what I believe is 2021. So, the original comic strip, as you can see in the thumbnail, was just one page, but for this comic, I decided I was gonna split it up into 4 and tell the whole narrative. I don't know if I'm going to finish this series of comics, little pages, but I did want to try to sketch them out to see if I could do better with paneling, which I did way better with paneling. I didn't even study paneling, and I did so much better. For tips for people who are trying to learn how to panel, go with the flow. Like, if you see shots, like, make sure it, like, just, like, goes with the flow, because that's what I was doing throughout this whole piece. You know? Also, so I should probably explain this comic. So basically, I have this series of characters, and they're space bounty hunters, and I have videos about them. I'll put them in I'll put a video about Kata in the iCard, and you can find the rest of them. But basically, they are space bounty hunters. Their designs have changed since the last time I've drawn them, or since those videos. Their personalities and backstories haven't changed too terribly much, but, you know, they've grown a little bit. But basically, in the comic, this is before the character Jat is introduced, and it is just Kata and Haveen, and they get a job to find this, like, super scary weapons dealer who's, like, giving away these weapons that can destroy planets and solar systems. And they're trying to find this person and put a stop to it because somebody's paying them to stop them because their home planet got blown up by one of these weapons. And so they wanted to get revenge at the source. So basically, it's them on this mission, and they found a transport bot for one of these weapons, and so they're going to take it out, and because robots are more sentient in this world, they're going to interrogate it. For the first panel, I put like my whole heart in it, and then I gave up from there. Like, I don't know if you could tell, especially with the oversketching, because with the undersketching, that's like my favorite part of the drawing, because it really shows the action and the pose. It shows of the pose, and sometimes with the oversketch, I feel like it doesn't get as far, or I can't like detail it out to where it looks good still in the action pose. I almost felt that way about Haveen's jump, but I wanted to show her off her rocket legs, because they are really impressive. And even though she's a human, so she's technically the weakest out of all of her counterparts, like physical ability wise, because of her cybernetic enhancements, she's actually more or less the strongest. But you know, that makes sense. I also had a really fun time drawing the little robot going pew. Yeah, no, if you're new here, I kind of do this stuff a lot where I not that I start things, but I redraw things. And I like to see my own improvement and how I've improved. And this is more of how I improved on planning things. This is like a skill, but not like my drawing skill, but like my can I properly panel something to make it look good? I don't know if this is printable panels, but they look nice. You know, like if you saw, if you're reading a comic online, these pages, they look nice. And that was my goal. So I also wanted, the way I depict my characters, I guess, they don't seem as action-y, when really the show would be more like an action show. Or not like an action show, but their comic would be more like an action comic. And so I wanted to show a lot of that action. So I wanted to show it with the robot being slingshotted, Haveen's rocket boots, or not rocket boots, but rocket legs, because she's a cyborg. I wanted to show them trying to get the robot. I wanted to show the robot trying to defend itself by flinging off Kata, which Kata looks like the weak one, but she is in her own right quite strong. She is, well, most of her strength is within her legs, so her strength, she can kick down a door, and more importantly, if she were to kick a human head, hard enough, she could probably make it fly off. I wanted the aliens for most species to be stronger than humans, because I feel like as a species, like if we look at other species, we are weak. Like chimps are like super strong, bears, like and there's just us. Literally any animal that's like our size is like stronger than us. So why wouldn't that make this case with aliens? Even so I would assume humans are actually not that physically strong compared to even their other planetary counterparts. And they're very little humans that don't have cybernetic enhancements just for their own protection. I will say, I do know one thing is that Jat's species, the species that Jat's supposed to be, is weaker than Havians because they're more like the brainy type, and they're actually supposed to they're supposed to be the cousins of gray aliens, like race-wise, or blue. So little like green people, but they're gray with the big eyes. Jat's species is a distant cousin of theirs. At least that was the idea when I was designing them. I wanted them to be as unmammal as possible with like keeping them. So they're more like an amphibian, even though they have hair, because I can't depart from having hair. So they have hair. But yeah, this is them finding Jack, because I don't have most of the story written out like too hard, but I do know a bunch of key points. I just need to figure out how to string them all together. And I do know the stringing of them being together would be going on missions or like going out to eat. I know that's how they find another one of the characters. But in Jat's case, it's because someone wants to stop them from selling their weapons. And which is justifiable, because what they're doing is wrong, just because they want to make the world or the universe's most dangerous weapon that can destroy the universe, because they're hyper focused on that. But yeah, I thought this actually, the part that like I guess was annoying, and I told myself I wanted to finish it and like line art it and color it, but I ended up, what's it called, not wisening against that, but going against that, because after I did the oversketch, I was so tired, I couldn't even believe it. From drawing that first part, like I couldn't even like it was the sketching, for some reason it was so tedious for like all of them, and I started to give up at closer to the end, and it's noticeable because my sketch, like the third page, the sketching is the sketching is way more messy than like the first panel, because the first panel actually looks really, really good. It's like super clean, and then as I progress, I just get more tired. I might make a part 2. I don't know what I would do with a part 2. I might talk about color theory. I'm not like the best at it, but I can try, because when I color these panels, I have to like keep that in mind, and whose colors match with what, and what kind of lighting I want to make the colors all make sense. So yeah, another thing is, for the next like 3 weeks, I'm gonna have pre-recorded and pre-uploaded videos, so I'm sorry in advance. It's, what's it called? I was in a veterinarian internship. I was in vet med. I'm, trying to get my CVA certificate, and that testing season's coming up along with prom, because I am a senior. So I'll be busy probably for like the next 2 weeks. So thank you for sticking by through even my pre-recorded things, because I really do appreciate it. But I have everything all drawn out. All I have to do is edit the next the next 3 videos, or 2 videos technically, for you guys. Yeah. Oh, also, I hope you guys like the shiny new intro. I've never, well, I had to re-put it together because somehow my computer only exported the audio. I added my social media in there, like any good intro. Speaking of my social media, as you saw in the intro, my commissions are open. All my social media, I have Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade, Ko-fi. Please support me. I want to get a nice mic. Pretty please. And my gaming channel, which I have 1 video uploaded. And when I'm not as busy anymore, or maybe even this weekend, if I'm free, I might upload another video. It might not be Slime Rancher again. I might pick another game, but I'm not sure what game I should pick next. Comment that, because I really need suggestions, you know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let you guys go. Or wait, no, I should probably talk more. So for the action poses, like I was saying earlier about the having a hard time refining the detail, I had a really hard time with having in this like jumping scene, because I knew how I wanted it to look, but I just wasn't getting it. And then drawing Kate up from behind was like super difficult, because I haven't drawn her in so long, and so my brain was like, oh no. And she's supposed to be a little bit more plus sized, and I kept on making her like more like mid-sized, because she's bounced between plus sized and mid-sized, and I'd say maybe she's a little bit more mid-sized, because she doesn't like, because she's still fit. She's just fit with fat on her, because of her job. I mean, it's basically strenuous, so of course she would be fit. So yeah, and the last panel is a like direct thing. So basically, I split it up the 4 panels, like I said earlier, and the first 3 panels are them cornering the robot, and then the last panel is them being upset with the robot and then being like, "Where is your master?" Like in the original. Because in the original, it was just them interrogating the robot with no context, and now there's context, and I really enjoy that. So yeah, I will have the comic panels at the end. I put them all in purple because I like purple, and then I added some color to the first page and ended up saying never mind, and I tried using it for the thumbnail, which I did end up using it for the thumbnail, but I was like, I don't know about this. I tried different colors and I wasn't too happy. That's why I said I kind of wanted to make a coloring video about this, because to learn and to like discover, and having my learning experience documented would probably be good. And it would be good for you guys, because you can learn from me and my mistakes. So yeah, I think I should go now. In a second, it's going to show the comic pages. Feel free to read if you haven't figured out how to read, or not figured out how to read, but haven't read it because, you know, it's a speed pain. Yeah, if I misspelled anything, I'm dyslexic. Don't make fun of me, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, thanks for coming and hang out. This video's usual but unusual. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.